Welcome to Raising the Bar SportsPicks. This is our weekly fantasy football show, week 3. I'm Nick G Unit Goswick, right? And I'm joined here by Frankie Fish. What do you want to be called? Frankie Mooney Fish? What do you want to be called?
Yeah, whatever you call me.
What do you want to call you?
Good. Yeah, whatever you want to call me, dude. Go ahead.
All right. All of our best bets could be joined or seen at raisingthebarsportspicks.com. There you find our best premium picks. I, for one, don't have any premium picks today because today of all days is probably one of the worst days to actually bet, simply because every one of your lines and everyone who's favored for baseball is really inflated. All the odds are inflated. Anybody who's supposed to be 150 favorites, it's 250 favorites. You're really not going to make any money. So, one of our things at raisingthebarsportspicks.com is actually finding the best value out of every one of our picks, and I don't see any value today. So I'm not going to put up a premium pick myself. Frank, what do you have for today?
I'm along the same lines. I don't like any of the baseball picks tonight. Mm-hmm. There's no value in any pick. Our Phillies, they got decent value, but they're on a slump. So
yeah, and therefore they're putting me in a slump because I picked them the last 2 days, and they're on a 3-game slide, and I don't think they're even going to make the playoffs, let alone do anything in the playoffs. So, but we're not here to talk about baseball. We're here to talk about NFL, and we have so many things that have happened within the last week. As soon as my computer stopped acting like a jerk. Oh, because I'm supposed to be in that window.
Corona Premiere.
Hold on a second. Jeez, bro. It's probably because we're on Zoom meeting, so it's acting a little funny here. Yeah, I got Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby. So it goes along the lines of fall. It's a pumpkin flavored beer, and it's made out of bourbon barrels. So I'm not.
Before we get to this injury report,
yeah.
What about Tyrod Taylor's injury report?
Tyrod Taylor. What's up with him?
Did you see what happened to him?
No. He said something about his heart.
So he was getting a pain injection before the game.
Mm-hmm.
They punctured his lung.
No way.
The doctor punctured his lung. So so that's the reason why he was out right before game time. It wasn't one of those we're going to start the rookie when they didn't have they didn't have that planned. It was a freak thing that happened.
Jeez,
so he probably won't be able to play anymore.
So, oh my God, that's crazy. I just got an alert earlier today that Jalen Reagor, he's out. It might be a couple of weeks. He had something wrong with his finger. He had played through it, but he's out. We know that George Kittle, he's hurt, but he says he's limited Wednesday. One of the big names in football, Christian McCaffrey, he's out. He's placed on the IR. Sterling Shepard, he joined Saquon Barkley on the IR. So that's a big loss for the Giants.
Barkley, yeah.
Yeah, Barkley and Sterling Shepard. I mean, you're talking about two of the bigger weapons, right, on offense. So
what about Drew Lock? They're over there again bringing Blake Bortles back.
Drew Lock is he's actually they signed him to a 1-year deal this week. So it says here though he's not a candidate for the IR. So maybe his injury is not too substantial that they're going to be able to put him on the IR. And then Jerry Jeudy of the Broncos, he's dealing with a rib issue. And but the good news for the Titans, AJ Brown is his it looks like he might be a go for this weekend, but he did miss practice today. So a lot of different injuries going on. You know that basically all of the 49ers team went down this week. I mean, Bosa, what running back was it?
Thomas got what's his face? Yeah, Solomon Thomas. They lost a lot this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much impact it's going to be on that team. They're just a well-coached team, but a lot of injuries.
A lot, yeah. I know that as far as the Eagles, their whole offensive line is basically hurt. And that's basically essential if you're going to move the ball. I don't care what you have on the offensive side of the ball. If your offensive line goes down, you're pretty much hit. Any other injuries? I mean, we said the big ones. I know that this guy from the Lions might be making it back this week.
Galladay,
yeah, that's big for the Lions. I mean, Jack Doyle, he didn't practice Wednesday. Also, Jeffrey, he still didn't practice Wednesday. I mean, these are big injuries. Jameson Crowder, he's not running. He's not running yet. So
Garoppolo's expected to be out next week.
Garoppolo, yeah. So yeah, here's Kenny Galladay. He did take practice today, so that's big. I know I own him, so that's big. Philip Lindsay, he still didn't practice. Man, there's so many injuries, and which makes this fantasy football season so crazy, right? I mean, if you got to know how to work the waiver wire, and before you know it, if you have a cap on your waiver wire, on your free agency pickups or whatnot, you're going to be spending a fortune. You might be out of cap room in the beginning of the year the way that it's going. You know, I mean, whoever drafted Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley, number 1 and 2, that's where they went, 1 and 2. Unless you had
I almost didn't do it because I know McCaffrey's that whole offense, and I'm always worried about injury when someone's majority offense, you know. And plus, I'm a Cowboy, so I want to go towards Zeke because he's durable. But you know, you can't pass up McCaffrey. He catches the ball more than most receivers.
Yeah. Well, let's just move on to let's look at what we have for plays. So starts and sits, basically, we're going to run down. Usually I've started off, so I guess you could start it off. Right? Is that what we're doing?
You're starting, man.
I'm starting? Man, I just messed things up. I'm a piece of crap.
I'm tired of starting. It's your turn.
Yeah. I'm just so used to starting, or the way we do it, so I don't know. I like to shoot it at you. So I heard your kids in the background. Pretty soon you're going to hear my kid because he just came walking down here.
Yeah, man.
Well, surprise plays this week, I'm going to tell you, was that kid from the Chargers, Justin Herbert. He was a prize play this week with what he did, 311 yards and a touchdown, along with a rushing touchdown. He had a late interception that was very costly for them. But Herbert, in my opinion, I think he won that Chargers job this week. And against probably the best team in the NFL. You could have a rookie come in and do that. Yeah. He's a start for me this week. Now that we know that Tyrod Taylor is out, he's very much a start for me this week. What do you think about Justin Herbert?
Oh, that's very impressive. Did you see him and that guy collide on defense?
No.
Dude knocked himself out when he hit Herbert.
No, I didn't. Tough, man. I did not see that. You know what I liked about him was his demeanor. You know, like anytime you could just control the offense the way he did. He was very much in control of what he was throwing, and just the way he approached the line, he was on point. I thought very highly of him after this game.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Oh my God. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh my God. I had some type of music playing in my ear. It was so loud. I thought, oh my God, that was horrible. Remember last week, music just kept
Yeah.
playing. Yeah, I almost had the same damn thing. And then since no one seen what kind of nut house you and I were created beforehand, trying to get the sound going, I lost everything I had ready to go. I knocked that all off too. So that's why it's kind of like taking me a little bit to actually get my wheels running. All right. My sit of the week for
I like that start, by the way. It's a very good. He's playing at home against Carolina. I meant to tell you, but yeah, it's a very good start this week.
Oh yeah. Somebody I would sit this week, believe it or not, would be our Drew Brees. I would sit Drew Brees this week because after last week's performance, typically you have two quarterbacks in fantasy football. So you drafted a 1 and a 2. This week, without Michael Thomas, I don't think that Drew Brees is a play. Going against Green Bay, I don't think that he's right without Michael Thomas. He's the number one wide receiver in football. And then when you lose your number one guy, and he did not look the same on Monday night. He looked frazzled, and he looked, like he wasn't in sync with his offense. He even said it, So I don't think he's a play this week for me.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. Running backs.
Running backs. We'll start with James Conner. I think he's a great pick this week against you're playing Houston. Houston's struggling. James Conner, he's starting to come into it. He's not hurt yet. He gets hurt every year. So, James Conner. And your boy, Kenyon Drake.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's your guy right there. He should have a good week this week against Detroit. They're home against Detroit. That offense looks good. Kyler Murray.
Oh, do they? Dude,
that team looks good, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're Detroit's number 32 in the league against the run.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you right there, play Kenyon Drake. I know in let's see, FanDuel, he's sitting at 6,500. Cheap. That's cheap money because in that same ballpark, you're looking at somebody like Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt's the number 2, which I love Kareem Hunt. I'm a big Kareem Hunt fan. But Kenyon Drake with that value, we're all about value here. Kenyon Drake's my guy.
Yeah.
My sit, I'm kind of nervous about Joe Mixon against you guys. Like, you guys don't look good, the Eagles, but Joe Mixon against Philly, I'd rather go with the pass game against Philly than the run game. I know the Eagles are mid league against the run, but that defensive line, once they get that together, that defensive line is so good. Like, they got so much potential in that defensive line. Second level linebackers, you're young. You got that rookie from Temple, you got Jerry and them guys. But I expect to be more of a passing game for Joe Burrow. And it's in Philly. I mean, there's no fans, but still, it's Philly. You're playing away.
I like that, but I think that Philadelphia is going to come out more of a chip on their shoulder because they lost the last two. Doug Peterson's defending Carson Wentz a little bit. A lot of people are calling for Carson already. Put Jalen Hurts in. I think that but it's just typical Philly fan bullshit that they do every year. If you really look at the team as of the last couple of years, they have had a slow start. Other than the Super Bowl year, They haven't come out to a good start at all. So I look for the Eagles actually to have a better week this week and defensively. So Joe Mixon, he's dynamic. He's the
I
closest thing
love
to
him.
Le'Veon Bell. But yeah, it's probably a good play to maybe move him down the line as far as
Yeah.
who would you start, who would you sit. So I like that. All right, let's look at wide receivers. I like CeeDee Lamb.
Love
Actually,
it.
of
My
course,
man.
you do. Yeah, just 2 games into the season, he's already emerged as a legitimate must-start in all formats. He last week he had his first career 100-yard game. He's only in week 2 of his rookie year. This week, he's going against the Seahawks defense. So that's tricky because Seahawks do play a nice form of defense week in and week out. I don't care if it's the Legion of Boom or whoever it is back there. They have a good defense. So, but CeeDee Lamb is going to get his touches, and I do think he's a good play this week, and he's probably going to be a good play for the remainder of the year. Just looking at this. Now, I'm not going to agree with this here. I have a ranking here that, well, yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't like Will Fuller here. I don't like Will Fuller. I would probably sit Will Fuller as far as the starters. And now if you have a flex, of course you're gonna play Will Fuller because he's the number 1 wide receiver there in Houston. But he's going against the Ravens defense. Oh no, he's not going against Ravens. He's going against the Steelers. So he was pretty much shut down last week against the Ravens, and the Steelers is another formidable defense. If they pull the same stuff that they did last week, he's not a good play, and he's definitely not Hopkins. He's definitely not him at all. He did not last week. He did not perform the same way he did week 1. But he's always going to have that little bit of chance. So that's why I say if you have a flex option, if you want to move him down to flex out of the 1 and 2 spot, yeah, of course. But if you have someone else to plug in there other than Will Fuller, because he has potential of having another shit week, I think he might be a sit for us.
Yeah. It's not a bad sit. Over to tight ends, right?
Yep.
I like Will Dissly. I know he's not getting much volume, but Cowboys hurt right now on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to give up touchdowns to tight ends.
Yeah. Yeah.
We tend to give up touchdowns to tight ends. So Will Dissly's going to be my start tight end. Not the typical guys, Kelsey and all them guys.
Waller, man, he is a tremendous tight end, didn't he? On the Raiders? Waller.
Oh, Waller, yeah.
Jesus. I mean, he has the potential of being the best tight end of this year.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
He can potentially, like, think about if his relationship with Carr, which it seems like it's a really nice, a really good relationship, and they're going to be able to connect as far as like a wideout to quarterback.
Yeah,
I think
he plays like a wideout at tight end.
I think that's the reason why Kelsey is so. I mean, he's already good, but I think that's why he's so dangerous because of his relationship with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Key, especially when they have to build that that trust issue right there because they're in the middle of the field. When you're between the hashes and you have you're going to get smacked, right? The ball placement and where how hard you throw it in the middle of that field, you have to trust that quarterback. You have to trust that quarterback, and the quarterback's got to trust that tight end. That's really key when it comes down to the potential of a tight end. And I think that Carr loves this guy. Loves this guy.
So.
And if he trusts him, that's a dangerous tandem right there. Everyone puts Carr down, they forgot about Carr. But Carr, if you don't remember, when he came into this league, he was, you know, dangerous, and everyone was toting him that he might be the next Aaron Rodgers. He was disgusting compared to his brother. His talent outweighs his brother so much. They were saying this Raiders team is going to go somewhere because of Derek Carr. I'm telling you that they might have found something, with this Raiders team.
Yeah. Everybody was getting on him for getting rid of all Khalil Mack for all those picks.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it was a mistake. But.
Yeah, but
you sit tight end.
my sit would be T.J. Hawkinson. I like him, but they're playing in Arizona. Arizona's defense has been not too bad against tight end. He's they're away. He's had 4 and 5 targets. He's caught all his targets. But if Galladay comes back, then it's going to probably take some share away from Hawkinson. The chances are they're going to be down too. That's one is if he plays, because they're very athletic at linebacker in Arizona. They got my boy from Clemson, so he's one of them guys. If I have something else, he's normally going to be your number 1 tight end, but you can find other value, FanDuel and all. I'd rather start Austin Hooper for the same price over Hawkinson this week, just because they're playing Washington football team and Cleveland's home. So Hawkinson away. I'm not starting him.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So let's do some sleepers of the week, and maybe some busts are gonna, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Plus,
I give you a sleeper. Washington's Terry McLaurin. He had 111 yards after the catch, which is one of the NFL leaders in after the catch so far after 2 weeks. He could potentially have a dynamic and explosive day again. So that's a start or a sleeper for me. No one's thinking about little Terry, but I think he might have a great week this week. He's going against the Browns defense that has allowed 441 air yards already this year after 2 weeks. So the matchup is there for him to have a crazy breakout week.
All right.
You like that, right? You like that?
Yeah.
I
love Terry McLaurin.
I made your panties wet.
Oh yeah, Terry McLaurin. I love him.
I know.
Tyler Boyd.
Is that a sleeper or a bust?
It's a sleeper.
A sleeper? All right.
Yeah. Why? It's Philly's defense, secondary. Joe Burrow's going to throw that ball all over you guys. So, not throwing shade.
It's all right. But I'm used to it.
I mean, you got AJ Green on the other side. Somebody's going to get open, man. So, Tyler Boyd. Here's somebody I love. He's getting a little bit of love. He's a rookie. So, it's going to take him a little while. But Michael Pittman, love that kid. He's playing against the Jets. And with Paris Campbell out and T.Y. Phillip Rivers not really gelling right now, I think Pittman's a good sleeper against the Jets.
Yeah. You definitely have to watch out for all these guys that are getting picked up. This guy got picked up. Devontae Freeman got picked up by the Giants. I missed out on that. So you got to watch out for these guys. Yeah, I like him to fill in right away. He's a dynamic back and was sitting on there on waiver wire for any team to really pick up. So I would go with a sit here. And I got Robert Woods as a sit. Basically because he's going to be shadowed. What?
You okay?
Why?
You were
Yes.
sitting Robert Woods? I
Yes.
don't know.
Basically because I'm going to tell you why. Because he's going to be shadowed by Bills cornerback Trey DeVarius White. He happens to be the league's leading elite lockdown corner right now. So as far as Woods, and I know he's a PPR monster right now, but if you're shadowed by one of the best backs, and Bills they have a crazy defense. If you're watching the games at all, their defense is so dynamic, and it was dynamic last year. That's something that actually got them and was pushing them through the playoffs. They got a really good corner that's going to be shadowing him, is going to be on his back. Now, somebody I would sit this week would be Robert Woods.
Okay, all right.
Crazy. I have logic behind my madness, man. I think you're racist.
Come on, man. All right. Let's see. You want to go to quarterback? Baker
Mayfield this week?
Baker, man. After a hot week last week against Cincy, he bought out. For Baker, he bought out.
Mm-hmm.
And it only should get better from here with Odell, Landry, Hunt, Chubb being able to open up that team. They're playing home against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good matchup. They put up points last week. Hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah.
I'd like to start him.
I got one more for you. I'm going to give you a little sleeper here, and it's my man Gardner Minshew. And because only Russell Wilson has a better completion percentage than he does.
My MVP, right?
Minshew is 85. Stop with the Russell Wilson bullshit. Oh, my God. That's what I hear all the time. Everybody knows. I know I wanted to draft him when he came out, but, we slept on him. But Gardner Minshew was at 85.9%, and he's going against a trash Dolphins defense in Jacksonville.
Start both those wide receivers, man.
Yeah.
Chenault.
And Devontae, if he's healthy, if it's a go, make sure you're playing Devontae this week. So, Gardner Minshew. Oh, why did I say Devontae? Yeah, Devontae with Miami, but man, you messed me all up. I had everything I wanted to say. You screwed me all up. But Gardner Minshew, and it's not going to be often I say Gardner Minshew because I do think he's overrated. I think everybody gets crazy on the handlebar mustache and the antics he has on the field. He's so crazy and wild, but he has been performing well, and he's in the matchup this week is in Jacksonville's favor. So I do think that Gardner Minshew has the potential of having a breakout another big week this week. So week 3, Gardner Minshew as a sleeper. All right. So with that, I'm going to say, once again, I like to repeat myself. Go to raisingthebarsportspicks.com to get all of our best picks. We all write articles there. We give out free picks. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this show. Visit all our previous shows. I did an MLB show earlier. And, join us next week on Wednesday. We try to make it on Wednesday. Last week it was Thursday, but next week on Thursday. And make sure you tune in on our Week 4 episode of our Fantasy Football Show. I appreciate you coming by, stopping by the bar, and until next time. Salute.